Hi, Sandy Holterhaus here, your Rec Center Dietitian, and welcome to week 5 of our presentations for National Nutrition Month. We've talked about hydration, we've talked about the three macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And today I'd just like to talk a little bit about food synergy. So when you think about whole foods, they're made and composed in a certain way that you're usually not getting just one of the macronutrients, a food that's entirely fat, entirely carb, or entirely protein. You're usually getting the nutrients mixed together. And that's why I like to just tell people, I think it's that's the way that food was intended to be, and that those nutrients in certain foods have synergy. They work together. And at this point, we don't actually know all the synergies that might be involved within foods and between foods. It's a kind of a new science area where we are studying, and I think there's a lot of exciting information yet to come on how the components in food and the variety of foods that you eat, how they actually work together. So, food synergy, what is it? It's when foods or nutrients work together and the combined effect is greater than the sum of their separate effects. So, food synergy can exist within a food. So, for example, an apple with the peel, you're going to have insoluble fiber, and inside the apple, you're going to have soluble fiber. So, those work together. And there's also food synergy in foods, like different foods like broccoli and tomatoes have been shown to help with certain types of prostate disease. So that could be something that you would want to look at for that. Food synergy can also exist in detrimental ways. So, for example, certain drugs with alcohol can compound that tiring effect and make you overly tired, or statins and grapefruit. So there's a component in grapefruit that uh, prevents you from absorbing all the statins, so the statin can build up in the bloodstream. So there are detrimental effects from food synergies as well. So I just kind of wanted to pose a question, and I've always wondered about this. Should foods that ripen at the same time in the same area, could they possibly have food synergy? So I think it would be, kind of a trick of Mother Nature if they didn't. So some of the combinations that we find, from our garden might be strawberries and spinach. They come uh, together, ready at the same time in the garden. And strawberries provide vitamin C to the spinach, has iron in it, and that helps you better absorb that iron. Um, Peas and carrots come together at similar times, and parsnips and carrots, tomatoes and cucumbers. When I think of corn and beans, I think of the Three Sisters garden. So those come together at the same time, and those provide those different proteins to help make more of a complete protein. Strawberry and rhubarb, that's another combination that might be synergistic. Or how about basil and tomatoes? We love that type of combination, and possibly that could provide some synergy as well. So, just a question. I don't know all the answers there, but get you thinking that foods that ripen together might actually provide some synergies. So, how do you increase your food synergy? Um, Eating more whole foods. So, obviously, the more whole foods you eat, the foods have certain nutrients in them. They have phytonutrients that we don't even know about yet, that we're still learning about and recognizing. And all those nutrients probably work together to help that food um, be the most healthful for us. And then also the synergies between foods again. So if you can eat whole foods, you're going to probably get all the synergies from those particular foods. We also recommend that you eat the whole grains, and I talked about this in the carb presentation. Um, Trying to eat the grain actually before it's pound down to ground flour and reassembled, but trying to eat the brown rice or the quinoa or the farro um, in their natural form, cooking them in that way to get the all the fiber and the synergies between the bran and the germ and the endosperm in the grain that make up the grain. Um, Increasing fruit and vegetable servings. I talked about this as well in the carb presentation, and just really important. I think fruits and vegetables are really our way back to health. So there's just so many nutrients in them, and getting a wide variety of different types of fruits and vegetables, I think, can be um, really rewarding for your health and help you to move your numbers in a positive direction. So I like to divide into three different types of fruits and vegetables. So those leafy greens, making sure you're getting some of those every day, getting some colorful fruits and vegetables, um, you know, uh, oranges or citrus fruit, and peaches, and peppers. And there's just loads and loads of different foods that have color all the way through them, fruits and vegetables that we can get a lot of different nutrients from and antioxidants from. And then we also have those sulfur rich or those little bit bitter vegetables that can provide a lot of health benefits to us. So, your onions, your Brussels sprouts, your kale, your spinach, those fall in that leafy green as well, but they're also sulfur rich, your cabbage. So getting a lot of those different types of vegetables in your diet as well, um, to make sure you're getting a great variety. Other ways to increase your food synergy, using healthy fats. So, really reaching for those olives and avocados and their oils, having a handful of nuts every day, even two handfuls. If you're reaching for something else that's maybe not as healthy for you, an extra handful of nuts might be good and can help stabilize that blood sugar. You just have to watch the calories there. You can add seeds to salads and smoothies and trail mix. So all those things can help get those whole foods into your diet. Eat a couple of servings of omega-rich fish every week. So, maybe you have your favorites, and salmon is a nice one. It doesn't have quite that fishy smell, or tuna steaks are great as well. Um, Mackerel, sardines, black cod is another that is rich in those omega-3s. And then adding green tea or some other tea in daily. That will have a lot of different phytonutrients, antioxidants that can help keep you healthy. And I do recommend that you avoid the artificial additives and sweeteners. We do find a lot of those in our bottled green teas. And I just recommend you stay away from those. Again, those aren't going to be whole foods. Those are man-made for the most part. And I think they up our cravings for sweets. So if we can get back to liking the taste of carrots and the taste of peas and the sweetness in those foods, that's a more natural way to eat. So to finish this presentation, I just wanted to show a few different plates here and what they might look like. And I did talk about these levels of fat in the fat presentation. And so if you're looking at maybe a low fat diet, that might be someone that has a health risk for heart disease in the family or has had a cardiac event. You might want to be looking at lowering that fat to 10 to 30% of the diet. This might also be a great plate, the low fat, for an athlete or runner, someone that wants to have a little bit higher carb in the diet, decrease the fat and increase their lean mass, and then also get plenty of protein to prevent that muscle wasting. So that low fat diet might be great for those types of people. The moderate fat or Mediterranean, I think it's a great lifestyle type of diet, something that you can, um, a diet that you can use most all of your life, unless you are maybe, training for a particular event, or you want to, change something up a little bit just to change your diet. But the Mediterranean is in general 30 to 45% fat. So on that plate, for example, I showed the salmon, which has the omega-3s, the avocado has the monounsaturated, your nuts, the walnuts there would have the omega-3s as well. And in the Mediterranean, you would also have, vegetables like a salad. You would also have some grain on the plate, generally whole grains, bulgur wheat, rice. So a salad with that as well. Maybe some berries and olives on that plate as well. And then there's the other option that's very popular right now. And again, I don't recommend this for just anyone. If you do have health risk factors, you'd probably want to discuss this with your doctor. They might want to monitor with some labs if you want to do this. If you're healthy overall and you just want to try it, maybe you're trying to lose some weight fairly quickly, or you think it could be a good lifestyle for you. Um, it might also be a good diet for people that have, PCOS, or problems with hyperinsulinemia, where they produce too much insulin when they eat carbohydrate foods. But the high fat keto diet is generally 70 to 90% fat. You want about 7% as saturated fat. It's about 15 to 20% protein. You do have to keep the protein a little bit lower on the keto diet if you want to stay in true keto, because some of the protein, it breaks down into amino acids, and some of those amino acids are glucogenic, so they do break down into blood sugar. So that would be the reason you'd want to probably stay at 20% or below on the protein. And then the carbohydrate rate would be somewhere between maybe 5 to 10% to keep that low. And again, a very difficult diet to follow, just because a lot of our diets are based around the grains in our diet. Grain has been traditionally a cheap way to feed your family over the years. So a lot of us are used to eating grains in the diet. So just a few choices for plates. And, if you are questioning what type of diet you would like to do, I'd sure like to have you get in touch with me and make an appointment. I would enjoy working with you. It's very affordable for our members here at the Collins Aerospace Rec Center. And I'm going to close with that. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. And if you missed any of the other ones, they will be in the virtual gym. And I will talk to you again soon. Thanks.